the left-wing blue checkmark brigade, Buck, I'm sure you've seen this too, has gone into hyperdrive, posting photos of themselves wearing masks in airports as if that's somehow barred. The one I saw one woman who was saying, I'm in defiance of the mask mandate being lifted. I am going to wear a mask. But a mandate doesn't mean that you can't wear a mask. It just means that you don't have to wear a mask. So you're not really protesting by doing something that you were already doing before and that you aren't being prohibited from doing, but they don't seem to really understand that.
Yes, they also think that if they have multiple Ukraine flags in their Twitter bio, then their mask is actually even more effective. I don't know if you've caught on to that, but also having little syringes to show how many vaccines you've gotten. For those of you who don't spend time on Twitter like we do, this is so commonplace among journos, quote, epidemiologists and other medical experts now, where there's this interesting correlation between I will double mask defiantly forever and not one, not two, a lot of Ukraine flags, preferably replace the photo of your face even with a Ukraine flag to show what a great person you are in defense of Ukraine. I mean, what's amazing to me is I've even had people come after me saying, you're not pro-Ukraine enough. I'm like, because I don't put little flags everywhere. Like, they hold the same positions. They believe the same things I do. But this is, Clay, everyone now, it's all about personal branding. Masking is so tied in with personal branding for these people. And you know the old jokes about, like, such and such get a personality? Like, that's not a personality. You need to get a... Masking is not a personality, folks. I hate to, you're going to have to actually show your face to people now and be normal and just deal with it.
It also doesn't work, as all of the data has reflected for years now. I feel like we need to keep hammering that home over and over again still, which is ridiculous. Well,
this is why so another thing that comes up a lot now is they talk about, what if you're next to an elderly person? Or what if you're next to a person who has an immunocompromised family member? And to this I always want to say, okay, hold on a second. I mean, I have an autoimmune disorder. That's actually what celiac disease is. So do I get to do the... Well, I have an immune disorder. What are we really talking about? I know there are real things that would be real concerns. Obviously, if someone has cancer, going through chemotherapy, that's a real immune deficiency, immune concern. I think some of the blue checks, though, who are out there are extending this a little too far. And also, I'd want to ask, what are you doing in effectively a giant sardine can with 130 other people traveling 500 miles an hour? Are you not willing? Is your deficiency or your immunodeficiency such that you don't go to restaurants or bars or offices or churches or anything else? No, there's just a dishonesty behind this now. People are looking for these rules. And more to the point, I would say to the immunocompromised or elderly person sitting next to me on the plane, because this is a theoretical they keep doing, exactly what you said, Clay. Masks don't work.
Yeah.
I should explain to them that it's very clear now that this does not actually keep them safer. So I am not going to bend the knee to a neuroses, no matter what someone's health status may be, because this is now a mental health issue.
I mean, just think about it. Take it outside of masking. If the government suddenly mandated that everyone had to wear baseball caps to keep people from getting Alzheimer's disease, you would say, wait a minute. Like, well, the brain is inside of the baseball cap, and we believe that if you wear a baseball cap, Alzheimer's is not going to happen. Do you not care about all the people out there that are getting Alzheimer's? And you would say, well, wait a minute. The baseball cap doesn't actually do anything. Stop, they would say. You need to wear a cap. You don't care about people who are getting Alzheimer's. So take it outside of masking. You tell someone that they are mandated to do something that has nothing to do with combating the underlying issue. And so if you just took it away, like, oh, the brain is inside of the baseball cap, yeah, but it has nothing to do with whether somebody gets Alzheimer's disease or not, then people take a step back and they're like, yeah, why should the government be mandating something that we all have to do that has zero impact on what they claim that they are trying to impact, right? Just take it outside of masking because it's become so political. Just say, okay, you're wearing a baseball cap. If you don't care about Alzheimer's. That's how ridiculous the mask mandate really is.
Imagine if the federal government mandated MAGA hats for everyone to wear.
Well,
That's essentially what they've done with masks now. Masking is supposed to be compliance to the Democrat apparatus. Here is, just for example, a journalist over at ABC, Gio Benitez, doing a report on plane air quality.
So, Robin, the science actually shows that 99.9% of the particles are filtered out. That includes viruses. Let me go ahead and show you how that works right here. So the air comes from here, above the overhead bin. It wraps around under the seat. It's actually filtered out under the seat. And what happens is that it's refreshed every 3 minutes. Half of it is filtered air. Half of it is new air coming in from the outside. And that's why JetBlue and the other airlines actually say that the air here on board in an airplane while it's in flight is actually as clean as a hospital room's air.
From an epidemiological standpoint, airplane air is the cleanest air in any indoor setting that any human being is going to be breathing anytime soon, unless you're maybe, doing open heart surgery.
That's pretty remarkable,
okay?
right?
That is. But Clay, let's think about this. The last two places for the mask battle are the two craziest, most anti-science ones. They want to mask up children in schools who are at the lowest risk and the least likely to comply effectively with any kind of a mask mandate. And I mean, I've got an adorable little almost 18-month-old nephew. Trying to get him to stay in one place for 30 seconds is impossible. Trying to mask him up in 6 months would be completely insane. And then on planes. So the people at least risk are the most there's the most dead-ender attitude about masking them, and the place of the least risk is where the libs are the most dead end about masking. They're completely insane.
That was fantastic. That's actually interesting information that should be spread widely. We've talked about this for a long time, and it's why the airline CEOs themselves, as well as a substantial majority of flight attendants and pilots, are all opposed to this continuing. So that battle has continued.